welcome to Cal State Fullerton's The Report with news, views, and info to go. I'm Christina Razvan.
I'm Sarah Fenton.
And I'm Jen Moynihan.
Today we will start by discussing some hot topics, including a Cal State Fullerton sorority facing disciplinary action, another NFL player suspension, U2's latest album release, message from the children of deceased shooting range instructor Charles Vaka, and a famous rapper's controversial concert.
Beyond our discussion, we have reports on current CSUF events, including a recap of SRC's Fun Friday, the concert Under the Stars, and an oil symposium. We also have the latest on Cal State Fullerton's fall theater production and more.
And finally, we conclude with some key local and national news on California's new sick day law, Orange County's massive heat wave, the president's plan to combat the Ebola virus abroad, updates on the minimum wage, and the United States re-entry into space exploration.
But first, we'll begin with our segment called Hot Topics, where we'll discuss the top trending topics for this week. Alpha Delta Pi Zeta Alpha chapter at Cal State Fullerton is facing sanctions after participating in a culturally insensitive Taco Tuesday recruitment event. According to the Daily Titan, 93% of sorority members attended and 90% wore a costume for the event. Those wearing costumes were dressed in sombreros, serapes, and gang clothing. Dean of Students is holding the sorority as a whole responsible since most of them were participants of the event. ADP will now be required to participate in diversity workshop programs and will not be allowed to recruit for the remainder of fall 2014 semester. What do you think about the disciplinary steps taken against the sorority?
Well, I understand, yes, people did get offended. There was a protest on campus, but where do we draw the line? People wear togas to toga parties, so
that's very true.
Where's that line?
Well, and what classifies something as gang-related costume or attire? You know, it sounds kind of vague to me as to what they're calling gang, but then again, we don't really know what they wore, so
exactly.
Why don't they publish that in the Daily Titan or somewhere for us to know?
That too. It wasn't even really detailed. It was just a general, they were wearing gang-related clothing. Like you said, that could mean anything. I think, though, that the disciplinary actions that are being set against them speak for themselves. Like, they're not really getting, anything major. It's just a slap on the wrist. They can participate in Greek events, but they can't win awards. They can recruit next semester, but they're limited to 30-some-odd members. So I think, it's not as serious as the media is making it out to be.
Exactly.
I know, it blew up. I saw it all over Facebook. You posted it on Facebook. I saw it.
I did. I posted it on Facebook.
You got some good coverage.
I posted the protests on Facebook. But again, where do we draw that line?
Very true.
Another NFL player is under scrutiny this week. The Minnesota Vikings have placed Adrian Peterson on the organization's exempt list, preventing him from participating in any team activities. This decision comes after his indictment last week on child abuse charges in Texas. The 29-year-old player was reported to have injured his 4-year-old son by spanking him with a tree branch. The Vikings have been put under pressure from fans, media, and its sponsors due to the charges. Several sponsors, including Anheuser-Busch, having expressed concern about the recent events of the NFL's players. What are your thoughts regarding this form of discipline for a child?
Well, I mean, it's outlawed in a lot of states in the U.S., but there are still at least 19 states in the country, mostly in the South, that use this method of discipline. It's called corporal punishment, and I have some statistics for you guys.
Of course you do.
Yes.
Yep.
In 2005 to 2006 school year, around 224,000 students were subjected to physical punishment, according to the Center for Effective Discipline. So it's not an unusual practice, but it is something that maybe these states should consider outlawing because it is,
I mean, I understand that, yes, Adrian Peterson, this is how his parents raised him. He was hit and so he hits his son for punishment. But in society today, that is definitely unacceptable. You cannot do that. I mean, no, that's horrible.
Well, and, a lot of people are against spanking, but to go so far as, like, bruising your child, and you were talking about those pictures earlier.
The pictures are horrible.
I mean, a 4-year-old doesn't really know better. They're still learning. They're trying to experiment with things around them. Like, where do you draw that line?
Exactly.
Even?
And mentally, this can mess them up for years.
Yeah.
I mean, that is experiencing that kind of pain at a young age.
Yeah, torment.
That's horrible. I mean, if he was walking around on the street doing that to people, he'd get in trouble right away. He'd be arrested. So why is it okay for him to hit his son?
Well, yeah, and like you were saying earlier about abuse and all of those things, if someone abuses their significant other, they get charged for that. They go to jail for that. Why not? I mean, why not for using this type of punishment against a child?
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah. U2's free album release on iTunes has prompted Apple to create a new feature to remove the album from the user's music libraries. Apple enabled the feature just 6 days after the band performed at the company's convention in Cupertino earlier this month. While the album Songs of Innocence was released for free, some iTunes users were upset that the music was automatically added to their music library without their consent. Lead singer Bono addressed the issue in a letter saying, quote, "People who haven't heard our music or weren't remotely interested might play us for the first time because we're in their library. What a mind-blowing, head-scratching 21st century situation." What are your thoughts regarding the automatic album release and download?
I think it's awesome. I like free music. Do you like free music?
Everyone loves
Everyone
free
loves
music.
free
Oh
music.
my gosh, people
Music.
go out of their way to get free music.
Yeah.
So why complain about this? I mean, I know when it came out, last week?
Yeah.
It scared me. I mean, we were
You
talking
said
about
it.
this. It scared me. I woke up in the morning and saw a new album that I had never seen before on my playlist.
You came in, you were like, guys, did you have the YouTube album on your playlist today? And we're like, yeah. But no, it was kind of surprising to see that a musician or a band was throwing out a whole album for everyone to have for free. I mean, if that's like kind of the new thing, the new trend for bands to do, I'm totally open for that. I'd like to get some new music. It's kind of like Pandora, but you can keep your music for as long as you want, you know?
Well, I know, didn't Beyonce do that with one of her albums? She just uploaded it to iTunes without any promotion, any release date or anything, and people saw it, and then it blew up all over the internet.
It didn't have a
Sasha
release date
Fierce.
on that one. Yeah.
She would.
Yeah.
So it works. I mean, I listened to some of the songs. I'd never heard them before. Some of them, I mean, I'll admit they were good. Some of them were.
Yeah.
But why get upset about this? It's free music.
Well, I think some people are creeped out by Apple, automatically having this on their phone.
Yeah.
There's a website dedicated to this, guys. It's called whoisu2.com, and people on there, they're uploading tweets of people who were talking about the U2. One of them, someone said on there, "Who is U2 and why are they in my music?" I thought that was a joke. I'm officially creeped out and done with iPhones.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yes, it scared me. I thought someone hacked into my account, but then why would someone give me a free album? So after finding out, it made sense.
It's a giving hacker.
Exactly, right? So this is good. I mean, we got
21st century giving hackers.
We got something for free.
There you go.
So I'm not complaining. Thank you. Please
Thanks,
give me more
Apple.
free music. I like that.
Earlier this month on The Report, we discussed the events that occurred on August 25th when firearm instructor Charles Vaka was accidentally shot and killed by a 9-year-old girl's weapon misfire. Now the children of Charles Vaka are speaking out. In a video posted on YouTube, the children expressed their sadness over their father's death and hope that current political attention regarding the incident does not overshadow the impact of the tragedy and those affected by it. The children also had a message for the 9-year-old girl. Let's see what they had to say.
We're Charlie Vaka's kids, and we wrote this letter to the little girl. We don't know your name, but we are connected by this tragedy. In the news, we are just called the family. The 9-year-old girl. The instructor. But we do have names. Our names are Ashley, Elizabeth, Tyler, and Christopher. We are Charlie Vaka's kids. We wanted you to know something about him.
Our dad wasn't just an instructor. He was funny, strong, a protector, a hero, and our friend. He was a good man.
You're only 9 years old. We think about you. We are worried about you. We pray for you. And we wish you peace. Our dad would want the same thing.
Like you, we are living through this tragic event that we cannot shut off. It's with us all the time.
Our dad want you to know that you should move forward with your life. You should not let this define you. You should love yourself and love your family.
Someday we hope we can meet you, hug you, and tell you that it's okay.
What did you guys think about the children's message?
I think it was a positive thing. I mean, you see so many times the media taking things way, not out of proportion, but they blow them up, and then the people that are involved in it, they don't become people anymore. It's just, oh, the man that died, the girl that shot him. So I think what the family did was really courageous. I mean, they said, we are connected by this tragedy. They're relating to the girl. They're saying, you know, this isn't going to define you for the rest of your life, and don't let it. So I think it was really cool.
Yeah, and even adults can't come out and do what these kids did. I mean, it's so big of them to be able to come out and accept what has happened and hope for the best for this girl. I mean, that's amazing that they can do that.
I agree. I mean, I can't even imagine like having something like that happen to me as a 9-year-old, because I would feel like that would really just shake up everything going on, and I would feel like it was my fault. But the fact that these kids are so forgiving, and you can just see that they're just like shining love, and with open arms, they're like, you know what, we understand it was a mistake, but we're going to be there for you in the future, and we hope to meet you in the future. And I think that in itself shows that there's actually good in humanity, because people can actually forgive and not forget, but forgive.
And now let's switch over to the campus events of the week. The Oil Symposium in the TSU, September 23rd, gathered much attention. A number of students attended this controversial discussion on oil fracking. Natural gas may be the go-to cleaner energy fossil fuel of the immediate future, as it emits mostly CH4 or methane gas when combusted, which, although it is technically a greenhouse gas under federal law, it only stays in the atmosphere between 3 and 6 months, making its greenhouse gas equivalency rating much lower than that of other fossil fuels. Natural gas emits no carbon dioxide, which is also a greenhouse gas under federal law, that stays in the atmosphere for hundreds of years. So unlike dirty coal and petroleum, which emits CO2 and small particulate matter when combusted, natural gas may be our next fossil fuel of choice. But locally, those benefits are stripped away as oil fracking is becoming more popular in northern Orange County. The controversy over the fact that many well linings and the concrete wells themselves leach the fuel into local underground water aquifers, essentially poisoning the local drinking water supply. Professor Robert Jackson of Stanford University told Nova of PBS that the mechanism of contamination looks to be well integrity, and he further explained that in about half the cases, we believe the contamination came from poor cementing, and in the other half, it came from well casings that leaked. For further information on this topic of oil fracking regarding increased earthquakes and specifics on water and air quality, watch our full live stream Titan TV coverage of the event in the link below.
Students came out for Taco Tuesday showing pride and love for our tacos. Our reporter Fariel Khan has the story.
So I am here at Titan Taco Tuesday, where there are students from all over campus coming in to enjoy free Baja Fresh tacos. So let's take a look. Okay, so how'd you guys find out about this?
I was sitting right there.
Yeah, I walked by. We just saw everyone come crowding around, so we're like, hey, free taco.
Some guy just was waving free Taco Tuesday, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want free tacos. Get in line.
Well, we know somebody on Titan Task Force who was very graciously telling us last week about the event, so we knew about it beforehand.
I was actually walking through here, and then I heard them like 5 minutes until we give out food. I was like, I got Baja Fresh, so why not? More tacos, more happiness.
On every other Titan Taco Tuesday, you need to be wearing Titan-affiliated garb. Anything. It could be a wristband, a shirt, whatever. Just something to show your CSUF spirit, and you'll basically, get all the glory, which is, the free tacos. Sometimes we usually have Rockstar, drinks, you know, whatever we can get. Later, I'm going to be throwing out foam fingers, maybe some t-shirts out to people in the crowd. We're just here basically to enrich the campus experience.
By having Taco Titan Tuesdays, they're really encouraging students to really embrace that Titan pride and also be rewarded with like some awesome tacos as well.
Also, because it's on Titan Tuesdays, if you wear like Titan affiliated gear, you'll get discounts. Like if you go to the cafe or buy things like that, or a lot of random places, you will get discounts. So we're just trying to promote school spirit essentially, you know?
I'm just gonna watch you eat it over here.
Okay. Oh gosh, it's overflowing. Okay.
One of my favorites, I guess.
Okay.
Because I'm a taco connoisseur, so.
Okay.
It is a very well done taco. I approve.
So we approve. Yes?
If I could say yes, I would say yes. 100 times and more.
Yes,
more?
yes. 1,000 times yes.
Yes.
So more Taco Tuesdays, right?
Yes.
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 So Titan Taco Tuesday is going to be held every first Tuesday of the month, so come out and get involved. I've already eaten half of my taco, and it's amazing, so come out and support.
The Osher Lifelong Learning Institute hosted its second event on the eclectics called Mathematical Modeling, Zombie Apocalypse, Planetary Destruction, and Ultimate Gameplay. Associate Dean of Distance Learning for UCI, Sarah Eckhorn, spoke during the event. Eckhorn showed students how mathematics can be used on applied problem solving using 3 different fun examples. For instance, one example was set in a fictional zombie apocalypse and how the disease of a zombie infection could spread over the population. The lecture concluded with a discussion on video game strategies and how mathematical theory and machine learning can be used to enhance gameplay.
The Clay's Performing Arts Center is kicking off the fall season with its adaptation of Adam Simkowitz's romantic comedy Hearts Like Fists. The story focuses on a group of crime-fighting women who try to foil the dastardly plots of a mysterious madman. The man repeatedly breaks into the homes of women's lovers and injects them with a lethal poison. The play pays tribute to comic book superheroes as well as explores themes of love and fear of intimacy. Hearts Like Fists opens at the Clay's Performing Arts Center's Hallberg Theater on Friday, September 26th from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Ticket prices are $11 for all students at the door or $10 if purchased in advance. Help support your fellow Titans at what hopes to be an extravagant season for theater.
Wednesday, September 10th, CSUF sponsored a seminar on Parkinson's disease at the Elk Lodge in Fullerton. Morgan Klein and Farrell Khan have the story.
I'm here at Fullerton Elk Lodge with guest speaker Dr. Joyce Chance as she discusses Parkinson's disease, which is one of the most common diseases of the senior population. Let's take a look. The Elks Lodge offers free community education promoting health knowledge and wellness. This series is co-sponsored with the Golden Hearts Group at St. Jude's Medical Center, whose goal is to promote health education. We got to speak to Dr. Joyce Chance, MD, about the most prevailing stage of Parkinson's disease.
I think probably the middle stages. We see a lot of patients with early stage Parkinson's, but right now, because we're an aging population, we're seeing more people with mid-stage Parkinson's, where they're really beginning to have a little more disability, a little more difficulty with balance. We see advanced patients, and we see a lot of those, and that's going to increase too because people are living long enough with Parkinson's to develop more advanced symptoms. The youngest patient I ever saw was 15. I didn't believe it was Parkinson's, and we sent her off. She was evaluated at, I think, Children's at LA. Oftentimes, the really, really young patients seem to do quite well. But it's unusual, but it can occur very early. I think you have to just live your life. We can't tell whether or not you're going to get it, at least not at this point. I think you live your life, but you live healthy. You know, drink moderately. Do not drink in excess. Exercise. Eat healthy. Don't live on fast food. Recreational drugs, keep it down to a minimal. They're bad stuff. They get, the harder ones, there's no question, they cause brain disorders. Marijuana is stored in fatty tissue, and your brain is 98% fat. So it's stored there, and if you've been using a lot of marijuana, it can take a long time for it to wear out of your system once you decide you don't want to do that anymore. But I think it's do everything in moderation.
After the seminar was over, Dr. Chance spoke with people individually to answer questions and give advice.
For more information, please visit Fullerton's Elk Lodge every Wednesday morning from 9 to 10:30 a.m. I'm Morgan Klein with Titan TV.
And now we'll switch over to some updates in our local news. Fullerton Police will now join Anaheim and Cal State Fullerton officers by wearing cameras. The Fullerton City Council voted last week to approve the $650,000 purchase of 140 of these wearable devices. Beginning in November, Fullerton Police will be required to wear the cameras while interacting with the public, including arrests and situations that require the use of force. The new technology will replace the digital audio recorders previously worn by police. Fullerton Police Chief Dan Hughes said his officers view the device as a, quote, a protection for them and helping them with additional evidence.
Scorching heat and record temperatures plagued Southern California last week, resulting in power outages across Orange County. Around 1,200 customers in Fullerton, Buena Park, Aliso Viejo, Laguna Niguel, and Huntington Beach were affected. Southern California Edison said the outages were due to equipment problems. To help reduce these occurrences, the company has designated certain days this month as Safe Power Days, which ask customers to conserve energy between 2 and 6 p.m. Customers that participate in this program can earn up to $100 in bill credits each year.
A new California law is extending paid sick leave to millions of workers. The bill signed by Governor Jerry Brown will allow employees 1 hour of sick time for every 30 hours worked, with a maximum number of 3 sick days per year. When the law goes into effect this July, it is estimated that around 6.5 million Californians will receive paid sick leave, according to Brown's office. However, exemptions to the mandate include employees working for public in-home health services. California now joins Connecticut as the second state in the U.S. to mandate paid sick leave for workers.
And now we'll take a look at some of the latest news here in the U.S. and abroad. Scotland decided to remain a member of the United Kingdom last week in a historic decision that triggered an unprecedented voter turnout of 85%. Around 55% of individuals voted against independence, while 44% voted in favor. The leader of Scotland's pro-independence campaign, Alex Salmond, registered his position as First Minister and leader of the Scottish National Party in response to the vote. In return for staying in the Union, Scottish citizens were made a promise by current UK lawmakers to give the nation new powers in the government, which have yet been specified.
President Obama announced he is sending around 3,000 troops to West Africa to contain the deadly Ebola virus and prevent it from spreading to the U.S. The president outlined 4 goals for his plan: to control the Ebola outbreak, prevent the spread of the virus, organize a global response to the crisis, and enhance the African public health care system. Obama also called for more doctors, medical resources, and training programs in West Africa. USA Today reported that the program will cost an estimated $1.26 billion.
NASA recently announced contracts with spacecraft manufacturers Boeing and SpaceX, with an estimated combined worth of $6.8 billion, according to the Associated Press. The companies will be responsible for transporting astronauts to the International Space Station as soon as 2017. With this new deal, NASA plans to end the U.S.'s reliance on Russia to ferry astronauts to the space station. U.S. astronauts have been using Russian rockets since 2011, when NASA retired its space shuttles. California Governor Jerry Brown signed off on legislation that raised the state of California minimum wage to $9 an hour, and as of the first day of 2016, it will raise to $10 an hour. But this may soon change. According to Senate Bill 935, amended May of 2014, passing the bill would increase the minimum wage on and after January 1st, 2015 to no less than $11 per hour, on and after January 1st, 2016 to no less than $12 per hour, and on and after January 1st, 2017 to no less than $13 per hour. The bill would require the automatic adjustment of the minimum wage annually thereafter to maintain employee purchasing power diminished by the rate of inflation during the previous year.
The bill also specifies that the increase applies to both public and private employment. This raise is an attempt to bring people working minimum wage out of poverty and give them the ability to afford a higher standard of living in California. United States Senator Elizabeth Warren spoke recently on Bill Moyers about minimum wage issues across the U.S. She emphatically stated, "Raise the minimum wage. Nobody should work full-time and still live in poverty. Minimum wage nationally hasn't been raised in over 7 years."
For more information on your local minimum wage, visit dir.ca.gov. And for more on what Senator Elizabeth Warren has to say regarding minimum wage, as well as other controversial topics, visit billmoyers.com and search for Elizabeth Warren.
That's all we have for this edition of the report. Join us next time for the latest news, views, and info to go. I'm Christina Resban.
I'm Sarah Fenton.
And I'm Jen Moynihan. Stay fresh, Fullerton.